What's up? It's your boy K, back on the channel again. I know a lot of you guys who subscribe to my channel and watch my content are watching for gaming content, but today we are going to be bringing a new segment to the channel, okay? And that segment is going to be movie reviews. So this is my roommate Isaac. Say hi to the people, Isaac.
Hello to the people.
Me and Isaac plan on every Friday going to the movie theaters and watching a new movie that just came out so that we can give the review and give it to you. Alright? So our first review that we're doing for this is going to be over the movie Joker 2. Okay, starring Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga. So I think we should start with our ratings, alright?
Fair enough.
I personally love the movie. All right, I would give it a 9 out of 10.
Ooh.
9 out of 10.
It's a big number.
All right, what would you give it?
I'm an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. All right, explain.
Okay. Let's go back for a second, though, because I got to give you a little bit of my background on this side of it.
All right.
When I first heard that they were going to release a Joker movie that was not connected to anything else, it was kind of like a standalone. So this is the first one. Lots of red flags pop up. Because the Joker's been played by thousands of people, it seems like. And you got a lot of good, iconic actors that have played that character. So it's like, you don't want to screw it up. So when I saw it coming out, I mean, you've got Heath Ledger, you have Jack Nicholson, you had the animated series with the guy, with the voiceover guy, I don't remember his name, but he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then you see that Joaquin Phoenix is going to step in, and he's going to play the character. You've not had any issues with him that I know of. Gladiator is one of my top 2 favorite movies of all time, and he was unbelievable in that. Signs, he was great. So, great actor. So, watch the first movie. He did a phenomenal job. It takes a while to kind of develop the character, but then you get to the end, and it's like, okay, this is the Joker.
Yeah.
Kind of an explosive end. And then you see the second movie coming out, you get excited about it because we're thinking, we don't know exactly what direction they were going to take it. And phenomenal movie. So 8 out of 10, yes. I think it knocks it down a few notches because of there's a musical aspect to it that Kay's going to talk about that we knew about, but you didn't know how in depth they were going to go with it. And I think that kind of just throws it's just a curveball. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Just more of a curveball than anything else.
Yeah. Me and Isaac were talking before the movie. I'd seen some reviews beforehand, and there was just a lot of people who I think weren't expecting as many songs, as many musical numbers. And so I think that's what knocked the rating down for a lot of people.
Especially since the first movie had none of that. So it just kind of threw... It just kind of came out of left field.
Yeah, but me personally, I'm a musical guy. I like musicals, especially if you can do it well. And so going into the musicals of the movie, that was one of the aspects that I did enjoy. I think that how they portrayed the musicals, as far as, one side of it being Joker and his musical aspect, it was big stage production, lots of colors, big bands and jazz and Frank Sinatra song. And then you had other songs in the movie that were kind of like, it was Arthur. It wasn't Joker, it was Arthur. It was the real world aspect behind it. I really enjoyed the musical numbers. Now, I want to go into Joaquin Phoenix's acting ability. You were talking about him before. I think that his method acting and how he came into this movie looking skin and bones and even the disorder of laughing that he apparently has, you believe it. You really think that he is the Joker whenever he comes into it looking and sounding like that. So you mentioned all these other great Jokers, Isaac. I want to know, where do you rank Joaquin Phoenix out of all the Jokers that we've seen?
It's a tough question, but Heath Ledger still has to be number 1 for me. I've said it before, and I'll say it till I die. He was probably the best villain that's ever been in a movie. He just played it phenomenally well, and it was a great movie altogether. But Joaquin Phoenix is definitely, in my opinion, he's second. He's right below him. So, I mean, Jack Nicholson was a great character. He did a phenomenal job. Yeah. But Joaquin Phoenix, I mean, he played the part, like, as you said, physically he came in, skin and bones, a kind of decrepit individual that just didn't, he looked like the outsider, which I think is what you want. Again, phenomenal acting, and he played the part really well.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that. I'd say Heath Ledger, you can't beat him as Joker. And that Dark Knight movie, especially with him,
Yeah.
the combination of him and Batman, I mean, it was great. But Joaquin Phoenix, he has to be up there at number two. You know, he was amazing. Another thing I wanted to talk about, right? Another aspect of the movie that I think is a big point for people who, whether they like it, don't like it, whatever, was the ending of the movie. Now,
No spoilers.
yeah, we're not going to give away any spoilers, all right? But I would say that the ending of the movie was an ending I'm sure a lot of people would not like. I'm sure a lot of people would say, I'm glad that there was a something that I didn't expect. You know, it is an unexpected ending. I take the approach that it was the ending that we had to have. Because this universe that they're building out with the Joker is supposed to be realistic. I think that this world that they're creating in Gotham is supposed to be reflective of something that could happen here.
Yeah.
You know, it's the average dude that gets bullied and is
Right.
misunderstood and goes through hell and becomes the Joker. And one aspect that I really liked that it really brought out all the way up until the ending is digging into that deep, dark corner of the mind of insanity, of like, well, this person's not a bad person or anything. They just do a couple things that ticks you the wrong way, and so all of a sudden you want to bash their skull in or something. You know,
Yeah.
that's the Joker personified, and I think everyone has like a 1% of that in their own brain.
Yeah.
Yep. What do you think about the ending itself?
Yeah. So we kind of talked about it, but I agree with you in the sense that it seemed like it had to end this way. It's not how I would want it, and I think that's a lot of people would be like, well, that's not how you want it to play out. But we've seen movies before, we've seen TV series before where it's like, well, kind of same scenario, it just has to end this way, and it's the perfect way to do it. But you had brought up the musical side, we talked a little bit about that, and it's just an important question, I think. Do you feel like the song placement flowed with the movie? Because I think we've seen movies before where it's like the songs were in there and it's almost like they just threw them in there. They weren't really flowing and didn't really make a lot of sense. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I think the way that they displayed the musical numbers and pieces that they had, I think it went perfect with the insanity aspect behind Joker because really a lot of these numbers kind of played on his relationships with other people.
Yeah.
And one of those people being the co-star Lady Gaga,
Yeah.
who, mind you, she is a singer. She was phenomenal in the movie.
She was.
And I think that, you know, with these Frank Sinatra-esque songs, it's kind of like the fantasies playing out in his head through a lot of these numbers. But just like I said before, you also get the numbers where it is Arthur and he's like in his cell or he's at a payphone or something like that where it's kind of dead and there's not the huge musical scores behind it. And I think that was on purpose to separate what the Joker and his insane head is and then also the real life aspect of how him singing these songs would be coming out.
Yeah. I would say my encouragement or suggestion would be to listen through, like, the songs are important and they all have a purpose and a meaning. So listen to what they're saying because I be honest, I got through about 5 or 6 songs and I was like, man, another song, they're going to sing. Then you start listening to it and you see how it plays out and the action that's happening within it. You're like, oh, okay, that makes perfect sense. It goes right with it.
Yeah, I think they all fit well. So, again, 9 out of 10 for me. I would recommend that you go see it. Isaac has an 8 out of 10.
Yep. So, I mean, extremely important point. This is one of those movies you want to go see in the theater.
Yes.
Yeah, so you don't wait for it to come to streaming or buy it on DVD. I mean, you can do that stuff later, but go see it. Spend the extra money. Because you need to hear the sound. You need to see the colors. You need a big screen for this one.
And you need to support your local movie theater.
Yes.
Yep. Keep the movie theaters alive, guys.
Yep. I cannot survive without movie theaters. So if those go down, you'll never see me again.
Yep. Well, that's our review.
Yep.
That's our review for Joker 2, okay? If you guys like the content, please like and subscribe to my channel, okay? Like I said, we plan on doing this every single Friday. And immediately, like right now as we're recording, it's still Friday night. We plan on coming back here and recording the fresh reaction for you guys. But we also want to know what you think about the movie. If you went and saw the movie, we want to see in the comment section what you thought about the ending, what you thought about the performances of the actor and actresses and other actors. And we just want to know what you think about the musical scores. I know that was something that a lot of people didn't really like or weren't expecting. Now that you know that there's a lot of musicals, maybe since you are expecting it, you go in with a different mindset. Yeah. So comment, let us know what you think, all right? That's it for our first review. Please have a great day.